Hello there, my beautiful and lovely gamers. My name is Jonal, and it's high noon. So we're talking about McCree ultimates. Huge is one of the most difficult ultimates to use as a DPS hero, but also one that is categorized by a lot of people, at least as a very weak one. While it actually is quite strong, it has a lot of very strong components. For example, the fact that it is a one-shot ultimate. Let's say something like Dragon Blade, which is categorized by a lot of players as the strongest ultimate in the game. That one doesn't carry a one-shot potential unless you nano it, and even then it's only on 150 HP heroes, meaning an ultimate like Transcendence hard counters a blade, but it does not hard counter something like High Noon. So let's really talk about how you guys can use this effectively, and as always we need to kind of break down the components that we are. So while we use it, again, how the ability works is the longer we hold it, the longer we channel it, the more damage it does per shot. So in the end of an ultimate, that's where each bullet would do the most damage. When you press it, you automatically reload your gun, right? So we always have 6 shots in the chamber, right? So we can always get up to 6 targets, meaning the entire enemy team. And we can practically, like, we are legitimate standing, so you would have bigger problems shooting down, you know, a bronze tracer than you will have on shooting down McCree that's high nooning. You're not moving at all. That's why some people like to add speed boost. At least we used to add a lot of speed boost to it, to one, give him so that they couldn't just move out of his line of sight, and so that, you know, we could actually close the gap on them. Now, easy ways to dominate it with high noon. It's quite simple. You need to first, the trick before we actually pull the shots off, right? If you don't want to use it, if you don't have time to channel it, or they have a lot of counters to that, then remember that if you ultimate it with McCree and then cancel it, so on computer that's Q and right click, right, then you immediately cancel it, you just reload your magazine, meaning you can get off a free reload, kind of like a free combat roll. So you can right click, combat roll, right click again, Q, cancel that, and then right click once more. You have 3 bursts instead of just 2. Right, that was something that was used a lot by some really skilled McCree players. Like, a lot of headshots. It's a really good way to burst tanks. Now it's really used for a lot of other people as well, just because of the fact that right click is so broken with McCree's newfound hammer buff. Now, when it comes to channeling ultimates, there's a lot of fun stuff to be done, both some competitively and some non-competitively. A lot of McCrees like the flanking, you know, high noons, which is incredibly big, easy shut down a lot of the time. Now, you need to look at the enemy team before using a high noon. Do they have stuff like one-shot abilities, right? Widowmakers, do they have handsos? Are you easily one-shotted by a tracer, for example? Are you low ground, right? What about armor sleep dots? Are you in there? Will the Zenyatta get off a right click on you, right? That is stuff that you need to look for, and the more of these abilities they have, and the more you believe, okay, you know, in my elo, there's a big chance that, okay, they will actually land that ability, and maybe you looking for a shield or something similar, or using cover of those people. Let's say they have a Widowmaker on Gibraltar, and you're defending on catwalk, you're hugging that right side, that way she can't shoot you unless you are in main as well, right? Making sure that you're dodging those one-shot abilities is important, unless then you need to use it behind the shield. When my team, as I've mentioned a couple times on the channel, what my team used to do while I used to play competitively is that we used to use our high noon, where we would stack the McCree behind the Reinhardt and our entire team can there, wait until they tried to contest us on onto the second point right before we got the checkpoint, where they would always be in the open. We would just high noon, sometimes nano it if we could, to make sure that we broke their shield, because again, the more people that stack behind the right shield, let's say there's 4 players behind it, and you continue to charge it, it will deal not the 200 for like 200 HP, it will deal the full charged bullet straight into the shield. Therefore it's very easy to break the shield and always get someone behind it if there are a lot of people that are stacking behind it, or at least, best case scenario, you're zoning them so the Reinhardt, your Reinhardt can get free hits onto their Reinhardt, and so on and so on and so on, right? Easy to break their shield, easy to dominate, and that is one of the ways that you need to use it. So again, look for threats, look for those targets that can shut you down. If so, look for either cover, or maybe it's not the cleverest thing to do, or get something like a shield. If you have coordinate people, you Winston Kitting and bubble you, so on, so on, so on. Use it to cancel your reload if you think that you have the skill, the situation where you need to do that. Remember, it does stop you for a second in movement, so you can actually jump while doing that, and then you will have at least a little bit of momentum, so you don't not standing completely still. And make sure again that, remember that they can easily move behind cover, so let them commit to their push before you start channeling the high noon, right? You want them to be kind of stuck in this dead zone while you will either kill them all, or they will have to try to retreat backwards or continue the push. If they continue the push, you blow them all up. If they retreat backwards, then your team can hopefully punish because the enemy team will have to play passive. It's an easy way to both stop Winston's for diving and moving from a spot, locking him down so it's easily punished by your team. So also remember that your team should maybe be in a position where you guys can punish them. Or to lock the Reinhardt to never be allowed to drop his shield, meaning your Reinhardt will win that HP bonfire where you guys can really just rush and punish that one guy. And again, if his team starts stacking behind the shield to protect them, you just blow up the shield and everyone behind it, or at least the Ryan behind it, and some extra damage, right? So you have this really good way of stopping a push mid. Don't try, zoning high noons can work on some points that is overtime and all that kind of good stuff, right? Oh, it's overtime. Make them rush into the high noon if they can. But just remember that a lot of time we don't want a high noon where we can't see them. We want a high noon them when they have already committed to that kind of no man's zone push. It's also really good if you are defending, for example, the enemy Reinhardt is beating the shit out of yours. I don't care why. Your Reinhardt is trash, your Zarya is trash, your support is trash, okay? I don't care why, but somehow he's getting pushed back, he's really low. Their Reinhardt's really taking a lot of space. High noon, right? Make him stop that push. So you're the support, the time to heal up. The enemy team has problems peeking you, and therefore you can shut down a lot of these pushes, or at least give you guys another fighting chance, even though you don't get a lot out of it. Making them back off and you guys to regain your health so you don't lose your tank right there is a good win. Remember, it's not a very high value ultimate, so quote unquote wasting it for something like that where you essentially are just resetting their push, which you didn't win a fight on it, but you reset the push, so they didn't win a fight. That's a very valid way of doing it. I hope that you guys liked the video. Do you guys want to see more ultimates video like this where we talked about the ultimate guides and how to use the ultimate? If so, tell me down in the comment section, especially what heroes would you like to see. I hope you guys as always have a lovely gaming experience. I love you guys very much. My name is Jonal. Stay positive and awesome, and as always guys, keep telling me in your crosshair.